by Barton Community College. Explore your future and get started now. Visit gobarton.com.
Okay, Sports Day in 3, 2, 1.
It wasn't our offense. I mean, we only scored 59. What did we score, 59? 59, is not horrible. That's about our average, 59 or 60. But you can't give up 75 points. We could never get over the hump. We dug a hole. What was it, 13-5, something like that. We dug a hole. We got ourselves back at 27 all, I think it was. And we just couldn't sustain anything. It was just very disappointing going into the playoffs.
The guys bought in to what we were doing, and they realized that what they were doing wasn't working, and they believed in the coaching staff. They believed in each other, and they've just put 10 wins in a row together. And we knew they were capable of all this, but again, talent's only going to take you so far, and you got to be a team. And this group of guys has really come together as a team. I've been a fan of this conference since I was a kid, and obviously coached in here for a long time. And I have not seen the depth in this conference. This is a tough conference. There's a lot of teams that lost some games, but that normally don't. And at the end of the day, you got to be ready to go. These guys were ready to go. They made their run. But the biggest thing, again, is just mentally preparing every day in practice. And honestly, that's what this group did.
Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome into another episode of Sports Day. My name is Brant Daughtry. I'm the host of this program. Landon Winkler is fixing the door that's behind me that I stupidly left open. He's also running the video feed and the cameras. If you want to watch this show as well as listen to it, you can do so by going to GreatBendPost.com, clicking on the Sports tab, and it should be the first one there. Click Thursday on Sports Day. You can also watch on our Eagle Media Great Bend YouTube channel. Sports Day is brought to you today by Barton Community College, offering exceptional and affordable learning opportunities supporting student, community, and employee needs. It will be a Barton-heavy show today. We'll start with your sounds of the past 24 hours, and it was a rough night for the Barton women, a great night for the Barton men last night down in, I'm just going to call it Ark City. I refuse to participate in the discourse of how the name of that city is actually said, given the state that we live in. I'm calling it Ark City. So down in Ark City, Barton taking on the Cowley County Community College Tigers. And the women, I was going into that game very confident in Barton's women. I thought that they had a really good shot, and frankly, I think that they did too. I think that they expected to win that game, and unfortunately came out with a loss that is uglier on the scoreboard than it was on the court. I think that this game was tighter than the final. 75-59 was the final. Cowley pulled away at the very end as Barton got into desperation mode trying to close that gap. It was down, I think, as low as 5 points in the final 2 minutes of the game. So Barton had their chances, but unfortunately could not capitalize, and they fall in that contest. And on the men's side, though, the men with really a very impressive second half. They were down by 9 at halftime, had to battle back, and they come back. They do complete the comeback. They win at 85-79. And with that win, they are now the number 1 overall seed in Region 6. They win the regular season title. Second time in the last 3 years that they have won the Jayhawk Conference regular season title. They will be the number 1 overall seed in the Region 6 tournament, which means that they will now host throughout, as Barton is hosting the Final Four of Region 6. And then I don't know for a fact that they're through to the national tournament. I would think so, but they would still, if they were not to win the conference tournament, they would need an at-large bid. That said, I think they've probably got one at this point, but that's certainly not set in stone until this election show, which I believe is this Sunday. So, with all that said, very Barton-heavy episode today. Like I said, we have the head coach of the Barton men. He will play in the second half of the show. Coach Jeremy Combs joined me earlier today, and very gracious with his time. He's a great dude and a lot of fun to talk basketball with. And that game last night was really, really exciting. And we'll talk about that with Coach Combs on the other side of our on the other half of the show. But our first interview today is going to be with Carson DeBose, the head coach of Barton Community College softball. She and I sat down and really we recorded, I think, a 12, just shy of 15 minutes. I'm looking at it right now, just shy of 15 minutes on our conversation. We were in here for about 30 minutes just chit-chatting. She's a great time, very easy to talk to, loves the game of softball, and so do I. So it's been a lot of fun talking to her. But, Barton, before we go anywhere else, let's take you through the brackets for Region 6 because it's now finalized. We'll start on the women's side. Butler is the number 1 overall seed. They get the first bye. Dodge City is number 2, Hutchinson number 3, and Coffeyville is number 4. So all 4 of those teams get first-round byes. The 8-9 matchup, Garden City versus Cowley. The winner of that will advance to get sacrificed to Butler, if I had to guess. Seward County and Fort Hays Tech Northwest, or Northwest Tech, is the 5-12 matchup. Coffeyville will get the winner of that one. Hutchinson will get the winner of Colby and Pratt. Barton, if they had won last night, would have replaced Colby in this. They would have hosted Pratt and then traveled to Hutchinson to face the 3 seed. But instead, they are the 7 seed. They will face off against Cloud County, and the winner of that matchup will advance to play Dodge City in the quarterfinals. So Barton, again, looking to beat Cloud County. That game will be on Saturday. Tip-off at 5:30. I will go on air at 5:15 for that matchup. And Barton hopefully will advance to play Dodge. I believe that matchup is slated for Saturday. On the men's side, like we just told you, Barton is the number 1 overall seed. They win the regular season title. They will get a first-round bye. They will host the winner of Cloud County and Garden City, 2 teams that they have split with this year. Garden did not play very well the first time against Garden. They played very well the second time. They played very well the first time against Cloud, did not play very well the second time, or at least the final 8 minutes or so. We've gone over that game at length. The 4 seed is Coffeyville. They will get a first-round bye and face the winner of Seward County and Colby. The 3 seed is Dodge City. They will face the winner of Cowley and Hutchinson. In Ark City is where that game will be played. And Butler is the number 2 overall team, the team that needed Barton to lose last night. They did get the win that they needed, but Barton pulls out the win, so they are stuck with the number 2 seed is Butler. They will face the winner of Independence and Northwest Tech. So, again, Barton on the men's side. They get the job done last night in Ark City. They take down Cowley County, and they advance to the number 1 overall seed. And so they'll be off. They'll play they'll host the second round game on Saturday. And, it's going to be interesting. I talk about it with Coach Combs here in a second, but Barton had an off week this past Saturday. And then they came out, they played a game Wednesday night. Now they're getting another Saturday off. They'll come out and they'll play again Tuesday. And 2 games in 2 weeks when you're used to playing 4 at that pace is going to be a little bit awkward, I think. But Barton was able to navigate it last night against Cowley. Hopefully they'll be able to do it against the winner of Garden City and Cloud County. So that will do it for the first segment. Sports Day is brought to you in part by the Marmy Auto Group on 10th Street in Great Bend. Also by Sutherland's, helping you build it better since 1917. From quality lumber, plywood, and OSB to cabinets, plumbing, hardware, and power tools, they have everything you need to get the job done. Visit Sutherland's on 10th Street. Also brought to you in part by the Barton Cougar Booster Club, continuing their efforts to make the Barton Community College athletics programs the very best in the country. What we're going to do is we're going to take our first break. On the other side, Carson DeBose, head coach of Barton Community College softball, will join us. They're actually up in Goodland right now. It's the top of the first up in Goodland as they're taking on Northwest Tech. We'll tell you about, we'll keep you updated on those results as the show goes on. But for the moment, hitting our first break. This is Sports Day here on 1590 KVGB and 95.5 FM.
Barton Community College, in partnership with Golden Key Group, proudly offers the nation's first associate degree in federal human resources. This online program prepares anyone for remote federal HR careers across the government. Service members and military spouses can use My CAA or GI Bill benefits to take the next step toward a flexible, rewarding career from wherever you are. Learn more at federalhr.bartonccc.edu.
C&E Doors, this is Eddie. Oh, Hadley?
Papa, our new van is ready to practice, but the garage door sounds broken.
That door is so squeaky, they will never hear your band. Let's get the guys at C&E Doors to repair that noisy door.
Garage door service and repair at C&E Doors in Great Bend and Hayes.
We're going up, it's our moment.
Selling your farm or ranch acres can be stressful. At Red Cedar Land Company, they are extremely diverse in the number of ways they can represent you, and they tailor each project to meet their seller's needs. One of the biggest questions for a seller is, what is my land worth? At Red Cedar Land Company, they offer a free market analysis to help you better understand the value of your land. You deserve a better selling experience. Put your trust in Red Cedar Land Company. Call Cody Crook with Red Cedar Land Company at 620-617-7320.
Community bankers should actually know your community. Hi, I'm Sean Powelson, president of your local Equity Bank. As someone who lives here, I know many of you, and I know what's important to you. I've been in the industry a long time, and I've helped many navigate through financial challenges and lead them to financial opportunities. I believe that people bank with people, so I'd like to invite you to stop by one of our region's 5 locations and meet our friendly, helpful staff. Let us show you our commitment to serving you and our communities. Because at Equity Bank, we're right here beside you. Member FDIC.
It's all here at Great Bend Rec.
Get active with Rec Sports. Youth and adult baseball and softball leagues are now forming. Don't miss out on the summer baseball and softball leagues for all ages and abilities. Sign up today. Online registration is available at greatbendrec.com. Deadline April 12th.
It's all here at Great Bend Rec. Live, play, explore at the Rec.
Sutherland's is your complete home improvement and hardware store. Tens of thousands of products are in stock at everyday low prices. Sutherland's also offers custom buildings, including post-frame barns, garages, and deck packages too. The friendly and knowledgeable staff at Sutherland's, always ready to help you with any project. From hardware, lumber, cabinets, plywood, and OSB, fencing, power tools, furniture, and more. They simply sell for less. Sutherland's, West 10th, Great Bend, helping America build it better since 1917.
Hey Cougar fans, this is Brant Daughtry, voice of the Barton Cougars. Cheering from the stands is great, but you can give our athletes a true competitive advantage by joining the Cougar Booster Club. Boosters provide the best equipment and facility upgrades, helping Barton athletes succeed at the regional and national level. Whether you're a business or an individual, your support matters. Call 620-792-9377 and become a Cougar Booster today. Go Cougars! Welcome back into Sports Day. Brant Daughtry here with you, now joined by Carson DeBose, head coach at Barton Community College softball. Coach, thanks for coming in.
Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. So, Coach, let's talk about the season. We had you in 2 weeks ago. You started out slow, but again, we've talked about the level of competition you were playing at the time. When you schedule teams like that early, especially in a junior college where we talked about this before we came on, there's so many freshmen that have never played at this level that you're kind of having to throw into the fire. When you play teams at that high level of competition so early in the season, what does that do for them in the long term?
Well, that's exactly why we do it, is to push them to get used to those pressure situations and really just ultimately prepare us for conference. And that's why I do it. You know, if you want to be the best, you have to play the best. And that's exactly why I schedule the way I do.
So I was out there for your doubleheader against Rose State. I caught the end of Game 1. I stayed for the entirety of Game 2. Really, really fun 2 softball games for sure. And the thing that stands out to me, got to start in Game 1, Charlie Wheeler has kind of become the ace of this staff. You kind of came into the season thinking that was going to be the case, and so far she's put up a ton of innings and done well for you.
Yeah, she's great. I knew she was going to come in and compete. She's a small-town kid from Oklahoma. You know, those small-town kids like to work. And, you know, she's done everything and more already that we've asked of her. And she's fun to coach. She's funny. It's fun.
So you are through the 16-game non-conference schedule. You begin conference play on Thursday, headed up to Goodland to take on Northwest Tech. Tell us what you've seen from your team through these 16 games.
We're definitely had some frustrations. And again, as a coach, I'm always going to expect more and want more. But I think we're on the up and up. I think that we've got some things figured out. We dropped some games that I feel like we shouldn't have. We've discussed it as a team. We have a game plan. And I think we're going to be just fine moving forward.
And that's something that you and I talked. That's another thing that you and I talked about before we started recording this. That you have about half your team made up of girls that have never played at this level before, and they're kind of going out and getting thrown into the deep end immediately. And so when you start a season like that, what do you think the mindset of your freshmen is? What do you want it to be?
Just trust their training. We also play a season in the fall against a lot of 4-years. And I know it's different, the level of, I don't know, we're playing for something where the fall is a lot of throwing people out there and letting them figure it out. And, but yeah, just trusting their training, relying on one another. We talk a lot about playing for each other. And one of the best things I've seen, and as a coach, it makes me so proud and excited and happy. Carly Erpelding was our DP yesterday against Cali. I think she hit 2 home runs yesterday alone. And I wanted to get a freshman an opportunity to get an at-bat. The kid's been working really hard, making really good adjustments, and I put Ella in to get an at-bat, and that dugout erupted like nothing I've ever heard before, because their teammate was getting an opportunity and they recognized her work. And that's something you have to have and you want to have in your dugout, in your locker room. And it was really cool to see. So I think just getting these girls to trust their work and rely on one another to be successful and not put the weight of the world on their shoulders independently.
You mentioned Carly Erpelding there, already hitting just shy of 500 through the non-conference schedule, team leader in home runs as well. I guess talk about the season that she's having so far. And this was, I guess, kind of the same question. She's a freshman coming in. Is this what you expected out of her, or is this kind of, I don't want to say is it surprising, but is it maybe better than you expected?
She has done everything and more that we expected. Fun fact about Carly, she actually graduated from the same high school I graduated from.
Really?
Yes. So getting to recruit her was a really cool thing. We kind of have the same roots, and kid is a workhorse. I knew she was going to be a leader on the field, off the field, and I knew that the softball would follow. So she's done everything and more. She's great.
I haven't really taken the time to look at individual stats. I've kind of looked at a couple of box scores and everything. She's slugging .891, hitting .457. She's hit 9 extra base hits through 46 at-bats, .457 batting average. That is nuts.
Yeah.
That is an incredible way to play your first 16 games out of high school.
Yes, and that's the thing with her is I knew, the kid will not quit. And that was a fun part of recruiting her is I saw that, sometimes you have to help develop that in an athlete. She just has it. And so it makes it a lot of fun to coach. And she just won't quit. And you can't beat somebody that will not quit. Mm-hmm. She's gritty. She's going to find a way, and she's going to pick up her teammate. She was one of the loudest ones in the dugout when I pulled her and put Ella in for that at bat. And I think that just, again, speaks highly of the kind of human being she is.
Tell us more about some of the individuals on this roster who have kind of, I guess, stepped up. We talked about Charlie Wheeler. We've talked about Carly Erpelding, kind of the two headliners for their respective roles. But who are some others that have stepped up early?
So Ellie Crawford from Hoisington, Kansas, local kid. She stepped up for us. You know, she's come in a lot of pressure situations, kind of as a closer or in relief pitching. And I felt she had earned the start against Cali yesterday. And she had one earned run against them. And, you know, she's just really stepped up. Another one of those kids that she's quiet. Just, I think what the girls call her the secret assassin. I don't know. She's just, she's awesome. She works hard. Not near as loud and boisterous as the rest of the team, but you can never count her out. She's going to keep working.
And so you guys, like you said, did host Cali yesterday, won both. And for those who don't know, Cali is a Division II school in the sport of softball, but a very highly ranked Division II school. And to sweep both of those, to get a run rule victory in the second game, I mean, we keep talking about some of the more impressive moments that your team has had. And I feel like a 15-1 win is impressive. I really don't care who you're playing against, but when it's against a team that's nationally ranked and is used to winning, we talked about that also before. We had a very long discussion
yes,
before we started recording this, and because you're easy to talk to, and I feel like we relate about some things.
Yes.
And but when you're welcoming in Cali, they're a team that wins a lot. They're very highly ranked. You want to get them in every year, and so to welcome in Cali and to win a tight one in game one, and then to get a run rule in game two, it's good to build momentum like that.
Yes, and that was a big thing. You know, to speak on something that is not always fun to talk about as a coach is, you know, the losses. It's driving me crazy, but again, we're on the up and up. We've talked about it. We've got it figured out. 6 of our losses are the second game that are by 1 run. It's unacceptable. It's irritating. And that was a discussion we had before we played Cali is, you know, what do we have to do to push through and find a way game 2? Like, we cannot be satisfied with 1 win. That's not going to get us through conference very well. We have to sweep, and we have to find a way to sweep. And we did just that. So, again, I think we're all back on the same page, and we've got to continue to do that.
Next game coming up, it will be on Thursday, which is actually the day that we're going to be airing this. And you are at Northwest Tech over in Goodland.
Yes.
That is, so you have to be in Goodland for a 1 o'clock first pitch.
Yes.
That's going to be fun. All right, so tell us about what you're doing in preparation for getting to Goodland on time.
So, well, it's a fun tradition. Anytime we make this trip for conference, we leave a little bit earlier than we need to, partially because the time change, it messes me up every time. It stresses me out. We get there early, and then we go sit down and we eat breakfast as a team before we head to the field, and that's just a tradition we've done for, I think, 4 or 5 years now. And, you know, the way to a softball player's heart is by feeding them. So the girls remembered it, and now it's a tradition we do every year.
It's a team bonding thing, and you have also said to me that while you like the team bonding thing, this team may not need much more bonding. They're pretty close already.
Yes, very. I know a lot of teams that, you know, I talk to other coaches that struggle with really just building that connection and having that closeness. And I've been very blessed to have teams that just naturally have that. And it's not to say that we don't work at it and create those relationships, but our team is very close. They enjoy being together, and any excuse to get together and eat, my team is going to be on board with. So that is what we will be doing Thursday morning before we kick off our conference season.
I know it's early. I don't think anybody has played a conference game yet, but through the non-conference, what have you seen from around the Jayhawk, and what do you expect this year? You
know, in years past, it's been kind of, you know, one-ended, if you will, one-sided, of like the top half of the conference and then the lower half. And that is not the case anymore. There are lots of teams that are going to be like have the potential to take the conference title this year. I think it's great. It creates more competition, and it helps build our conference. So I'm super excited, and it's all up in the air.
It's all up in the air. Well, Coach, thank you so much for the time today. What time are you heading out for Goodland on Thursday?
You know, that's a great question. I haven't even thought about it yet. I'm sure
you'll get there.
8 in the morning. I don't know.
Yeah, you'll get there in time.
Again, the time change throws me for a loop. It's not complicated, but my brain does not compute it well.
It is. You know, I grew up in the Eastern time zone. I've spent the last 4 years living in Central time, and then I make this drive all the way here, which includes mostly coming straight west, and I'm still in Central time.
Yeah,
which is weird. But now we're on the edge of Mountain time, and I don't really know how to.
It's the one count. My understanding is it's the one county
really
in the state of Kansas that is in a different time zone.
Really? I would have thought there was like some kind of cutoff.
I could be wrong.
I don't know.
I could be wrong about that, but that's my understanding. My question is why? But again, I'm just a coach. I don't know.
Again, you start seeing the signs for Denver, and it's a little Twilight Zone-y.
Yes. I mean, we're time travelers, basically.
Yeah,
That's
exactly.
how I feel.
Exactly.
Getting to that team breakfast and making sure that we still have plenty of time for warm-up and that I didn't mess it up. But every year it stresses me out. I don't, like...
The good news is that you're still starting at 1 Central.
Yes.
Which is what you're used to.
Yes.
It is not like basketball where they tip off an hour later and then you have to make the 3-hour drive back home.
Yes. But still, I'm telling it's really not that complicated, but my brain just does not do well with it.
It's wonky. All right, Coach, good luck on Thursday, and thanks for coming in.
Thank you.
That's head coach Carson DeBose of Barton Community College Softball joining us here on Sports Day. Big thanks to Coach DeBose for showing up. She is going to be a regular on the show. If you can't tell, she and I had a pretty good back and forth, and so I want to have her on, and I want to get her opinion on things. I want to talk softball as well, and I really like the sport. You'll be seeing a lot of Barton stuff over the next couple of days, and that is because, until the end of March at least, and that is because we are now done with live broadcasts of high school stuff until the end of March. As we told you already that Hoisington and Great Bend fell out of the playoffs. Great Bend lost in the first round. Hoisington lost in the second. And last night, Larned's girls fell to Beloit in Beloit. I believe a 15-point game was the final difference there. And so now all 3 of the high schools that we carry on our airwaves are done for the year in the sport of basketball. We will pick up Great Bend High School baseball and softball again very soon. But again, that starts, I believe, the 23rd or the 24th is when that starts. So be on the lookout for that. We'll let you know when it's coming. So I was curious in really listening to that conversation with Coach DeBose. Sherman County, which is where Goodland is not the only county in Kansas that's on Mountain Time. However, it is one of 4. The others are Hamilton, Greeley, and Wallace County. So, for whatever reason, 4 of the 105 counties, I learned this information like as I'm looking it up. 4 of the 105 counties, Sherman, Wallace, Greeley, and Hamilton, are on Mountain Time, as they all border Colorado, but there are, I think, 2 counties that border Colorado, maybe 3 that border Colorado that aren't in Mountain Time. Tough to say why. All of that to say, interesting time stuff. They're in Goodland right now. I was wrong earlier. I said that they were in the top of the first. They are in the top of the first now. Still had about 15 minutes to go before first pitch there, but in the top of the first, and it looks as though Barton has 1 out and nobody on. Oh, hey, look at that. An error by the third baseman. Kaylee Fields is now standing on third. 3-base error. Man, I would love to know what happened there. Either way, we'll update you on that game. Also, Seward County is in town playing Barton baseball over at Lance Biggs Field. And that game in the top of the first as well. Barton 14-2, Seward 6-13. If you're curious, again, we'll keep you updated on the live stats. Sports Day is brought to you in part by Kern Floor Service. Whether you need a new ceramic, porcelain, or natural stone floors, their knowledgeable and friendly flooring experts are here to help you find the perfect floor for your home decor and budget. Visit the Great Bend showroom at 908 Coolidge to see, touch, and feel the latest styles. Also, by Cody Crook of Red Cedar Land Company. Whether you're looking to sell your land or find the right property to buy, Cody takes pride in understanding your goals and making the process as smooth as possible. Call Cody at 620-617-7320 or visit redcedarland.com. All right, so that was Barton Community College softball. They're just in the beginning of their season. What about basketball? They are winding down. They are, on the men's side, champions of the Jayhawk Conference with their win last night in Arc City. And I'm now very conscious of calling it Arc City because apparently I've heard some complaints that I called okay, full disclosure because we've got a little bit of time. I called it Arkansas City when I was down there because the state is Arkansas and that's how that's spelled. It's also the Arkansas River, to my understanding. But apparently when it crosses state lines, it becomes the Arkansas River, and thus Arkansas City. But I've heard conflicting reports on that, and I'm not from here. I don't have a dog in this particular fight. So I'm just calling it Arc City. It is what it is. Everyone just accept. I'm calling it Arc City from now on. I want no controversy. Like I said, I'm staying out of this particular fight. But either way, down in Arc City, great. Barton men's basketball got the win over Cowley, and they will host the number 1 overall seed. Had in earlier today head coach of that program, Jeremy Combs, to come in and talk about what this means, how it happened. They were in 9th at one point. They were, I believe, 6-7 in conference play, or 6-6, something like that, in conference play. And I could probably do the math here. They were at one time. Yeah, they were one time. I think 5-6 is what it would be. Either way, or maybe 6-7. I can't think back that far. Forgive me. But either way, the turnaround has been remarkable. 10 wins in a row, winning 11 of the last 12. It's or maybe even 12 of the last 13. So either way, really impressive turnaround for Barton here in the second half of conference play. I'll talk all about that and the game that they played last night with head coach Jeremy Combs. On the other side of this break, you're listening to Sports Day on 1590 KVGB and 95.5 FM.
Needing a healthcare plan for your business? Let the experienced team at Freedom Claims Management Incorporated customize a health insurance plan that fits your needs. Whether you're a large company or a small business on Main Street, FCMI can help you provide employees with great health coverage at an affordable cost. From setup to ongoing support, they handle it all. Schedule your free no-obligation health assessment today at freedomclaimsinc.com. That's Freedom Claims Management Incorporated, with locations in Great Bend, Russell, and Plainville.
Sutherland's is your complete home improvement and hardware store. Tens of thousands of products are in stock at everyday low prices. Sutherland's also offers custom buildings, including post-frame barns, garages, and deck packages too. The friendly and knowledgeable staff at Sutherland's, always ready to help you with any project. From hardware, lumber, cabinets, plywood, and OSB, fencing, power tools, furniture, and more. They simply sell for less. Sutherland's, West 10th, Great Bend, helping America build it better since 1917.
It's all here at Great Bend Rec.
Get active with Rec Sports. Youth and adult baseball and softball leagues are now forming. Don't miss out on the summer baseball and softball leagues for all ages and abilities. Sign up today. Online registration is available at greatbendrec.com. Deadline April 12th.
It's all here at Great Bend Rec. Live, play, explore at the Rec.
Service from people you know, quality products and professional installation. That's Kern Floor Service. Stop by Kern Floor Service and browse through the different selections of flooring from laminate to vinyl, carpet, wood, and ceramic tile. See their selection of area rugs or special order the one that fits your decor, and don't forget, they can spice up those countertops too. So stop by Kern Floor Service today. Kern Floor Service, 908 Coolidge in Great Bend.
Barton Community College, in partnership with Golden Key Group, proudly offers the nation's first associate degree in federal human resources. This online program prepares anyone for remote federal HR careers across the government. Service members and military spouses can use My CAA or GI Bill benefits to take the next step toward a flexible, rewarding career from wherever you are. Learn more at federalhr.bartonccc.edu.
Community bankers should actually know your community. Hi, I'm Sean Powelson, president of your local equity bank. As someone who lives here, I know many of you, and I know what's important to you. I've been in the industry a long time, and I've helped many navigate through financial challenges and lead them to financial opportunities. I believe that people bank with people, so I'd like to invite you to stop by one of our region's 5 locations and meet our friendly, helpful staff. Let us show you our commitment to serving you and our communities. Because at Equity Bank, we're right here beside you. Member FDIC.
Welcome back into Sports Day. Brant Daughtry now joined by head coach Jeremy Combs of the Bears. And Coach, really, we talked about it kind of coming in. It was a pretty good night for us last night, for you especially, as let's go ahead and let people know what happened. You go on the road to Cowley, needing a win to lock up the number 1 overall seed in the Region 6 tournament, and you get the job done.
Yeah, the guys were ready to go. They kind of knew what was at stake. We knew going on the road was going to be tough. We knew Cali kind of want to spoil that party for us. And, I thought the guys got off to a slow start, but ultimately, really bought in at halftime and went out and did what it took to get the win.
You talked about that slow start, down by 9 at halftime. I don't remember the exact score, but it was a second-half comeback effort that really, the entire game you get to the free throw line and play very well. That's kind of been the calling card for Barton this year, is either finishing at the rim or forcing fouls. Mm-hmm. And the way that your team gets the job done in the second half is not only do they continue making the shots, but they start getting a lot more shots up and kind of doing what you've done in the second half.
Yeah, and it really started with our defense. Our defense got more intense. We were protecting the paint. We knew Cali was going to attack the paint, and we did a good job in the second half of protecting it. We also started boxing out a little bit and rebounding the basketball, which really helped. And offensively, we lead the nation at all levels in free throws attempted. That's NJCAA, NAIA, NCAA. And so, we get to the free throw line a lot. And, first half I just didn't feel like we were on attack mode. And so, the second half I thought the guys did a really good job of getting their spacing, getting downhill, getting those paint touches, and then finishing at the rim.
Talk about the mentality of the team, as like you said, leading. I knew you were leading not just the conference, but I knew you were leading all of junior college in free throws attempts and made. I did not know it was all colleges.
Yeah, that's a wild stat.
Yeah. All right. Well, someone's got to lead it, right? Might as well be us. But you look at the way this team has played, kind of as the season's gone away from the 3-point line a good bit. Team shooting was not bad, but it wasn't winning games for you, and so you kind of moved away from that. You've gone from shooting, 20 to 25 a game to around 15 or so, and the percentage is going up at the 3-point line, and you're also, winning more games by getting inside. What's gone into that change?
Yeah, it's shot selection is what it is. I thought we took a lot of bad threes. We were shooting a really high percentage when they were kick-out threes, or one more pass threes, and so we showed the guys that, and then we went to in practice where we're not going to shoot any shots, any threes off the bounce. It has to be a kick out or whatever, and the guys were making them, and you could just see their eyes lighten up that taking good shots and we're making good shots. So that was a big part of it, but also just getting teams in foul trouble, getting down into their bench. Their bench players, and again, we started to be a pretty good free throw shooting team, so that's really helped too.
Talk about some of the guard play as the season's gone on. I feel like that especially has gotten better, and I think of John Bird, a guy who doesn't score a ton, but more so kind of a defensive specialist and facilitator, and Brian Sullivan Jr., who you brought in at Christmas time, who's really contributed as well. Aris Rodriguez, a name that people know. It's the play of the backcourt, and I don't know if you consider Aris a wing or a guard, whatever you list him as, but either way, I feel like he's a part of this group as well, of guys that have really picked up their play in the second half.
Yeah, it's an interesting deal. We talk to kids, you get these junior college kids, and they think they got to go score the basketball a ton. And then, but really to get a team to be really, really good and play as a team, they have to know their role. And so we talk a lot about roles and what we need kids to do to win games. And, roles don't define you for what you can do. It just tells you what your team needs you to do. And so we explain that to the guys a lot. And it really helps because they think they have to go score 30 a game to get to the next level. And it's just not that, and then obviously the proof's in the pudding with the teams we've had in the past and, where we've placed guys and, just by winning ball games. And so again, it comes down to guys just buying into what we're, what we're trying to do here.
You talk about the winning of games. I saw a stat today. I can't remember what the exact number was, but it's something like 103-45 your team is over the last 3 years. The only team in the Jayhawk with over 100 wins in the last 3 regular seasons. And that's a really impressive, or not regular seasons, but overall, and that's just a super impressive stat that you got here 5 years ago. And over the last 3 years, Barton has been the premier program in the conference, won 2 regular season titles and in the last 3 years.
Yeah, there's a stat out there too that we had the most wins in junior college basketball over the last 3 or 4 years. I saw that stat come out, and I think that Vincennes has passed us after this year. We lost some games here, and they caught us. So I think now we're in second. But it just comes down to obviously getting great players, really good players. And then getting them to buy into the system. But our fan base is amazing. It's not just one thing that makes us great. It's everything around us. Trevor, what he does for our athletic department. Like I said, our fans are tremendous. We go on the road, and we've got more fans than most places do on the road. So again, a lot of that just comes down to who you surround yourself with, and we have great people here.
Absolutely. So let's go to the micro here. That game last night against Cowley, you're down at halftime by 9. You told me afterwards you peeled some paint off the walls at halftime a little bit, and guys came out and got it done. What happened at halftime? What was the discussion for people?
Oh, I went in there and I gave them some hugs and pats on the butts. And no, I went in there. We really talked a lot about the scout, I put a tremendous amount of time into the scouting report, and it's fun to watch the guys see the things other teams doing, the things that we talk about. And one of the things was I knew they were going to be physical with us. I knew they were going to get in the paint, and I knew they were going to crash the boards hard. And so we pointed out those 3 things. We lost those categories, and again, I was a little grumpy with them about it, but I let them kind of. Hey, this is an opportunity to win the conference. It's up to you guys. We can't do anything about it. We've given you guys the recipe to win the game. You just have to go do it. And our leaders in the locker room, as I was walking out, I could hear them talking, and I kind of knew at that point, I'm like, we're not going to lose this ball game. They're not going to let us. So they came together as a team and bought into the scout and just went out and got the job done.
Yeah, I can't remember who said this. I heard somebody say once, a basketball team in college has 3 opportunities to win a title, and you've now won one of those 3 opportunities that you have. Top overall seed in the Region 6 tournament, and as you come to this, it's kind of a weird scheduling because you had your last bye Saturday, on the last Saturday of the year, and so you go into that Cowley game with a week off, and now as the number 1 overall seed, you get another week off here, and is that a little bit weird, kind of trying to play 2 games in 2 weeks when you're used to 4 over that stretch?
Yeah, so, that first bye, although it's great, it does, it can get kind of, I don't want to say boring, but, there's only so much you can work on at this point in the season. We kind of dial it down. We're probably in there for an hour and a half, so it kind of draws it out, and you're ready to get out there and play, but it does allow you. We've got some guys that are a little banged up, so it allows them to kind of recoup. But yeah, when you play that game on Saturday, again, it kind of keeps you going, keeps your momentum going, and things like that. So there's some pros and cons to it, but I think we'll reap the benefit of just kind of getting healthy again a little bit.
You got the winner of Cloud and is it Garden? Who's in the 8-9?
Yep, Cloud and Garden.
Okay, so Cloud and Garden, you got the winner of that one. When you face a team for a 3rd time in the season, how different is it?
we would have split with both of those teams, so that's the good thing. A lot of times trying to beat a team 3 times in one season is tough. So we did split with those guys, and so feel really good about that. And I'd really like to get Cloud as they came into our place and beat us, and the same with Garden City. But obviously Garden City plays that high tempo, full court stuff, and so it's going to be a good game between those two, especially up at Cloud. So whoever we get, we'll just have to be prepared, and it's going to be a good game irregardless.
Coach, thanks for the time, and good luck next week.
All right, thank you very much.
That's head coach Jeremy Combs of Barton Men's Basketball joining us here on Sports Day. Big thanks to Coach Combs. Yeah, I do feel a little bit more of a connection to this Barton team. Pardon me. As they're the team that I call for, and they're the team that I follow week in or day in and day out, and have traveled on the bus with, and they've been super cool, and it's been really cool to follow that turnaround. Like Coach said, is very clearly around. I think the loss to Seward the first time around through the conference schedule, which I believe was right at the halfway point. Something kind of clicked for this team, and I don't know if it was guys stepping up into their proper roles, or guys being put into their proper roles, or guys, like Coach said, just kind of buying in and trusting the coaching staff. But whatever happened, and it was probably more than just one thing, the team really started to gel and play really well together. And now all of a sudden you look up and you've won 10 games in a row, and you're at the top of the conference. And just really impressive stuff. And that stat that Barton takes and makes more free throws than any other college team in the country, and not just JUCOs, but 4-year schools, NCAA schools thrown in there as well. Think of a college basketball team. Barton shoots more free throws than that team. It's kind of a wild thing to think about, and you feel like their games do go long. But you know what? Heck, man, I made the comment to Coach as he was walking out, and I don't know if he thought it was as funny as I did, but I said something to the effect of, man, no wonder I'm so tired all the time. And you know what? He kind of laughed and said, you know what, man, my bad. And so, a little back and forth. But, just going back to the free throws thing, yeah, I mean, Barton attacks the rim really aggressively. They have great ball handlers, great guys that are great on the drive, and it's either you foul or you give up a layup. And often it's both. Barton has a ton of three-point plays this year, and I think they had 3 last night against Cowley. And so this is a team that's willing to play through physicality defensively. They're willing to take the slaps. They're willing to do what it takes to put their head down and get to the rim, and they've got guys that are really good at that. And like I talked about with Coach, it's opened up their outside stuff a little more. Maybe not as many attempts from 3. My goodness, hold on. Maybe not as many three-point attempts, but certainly feels like the percentages are climbing. And like Coach said, it's better shots. They're doing a better job of finding the correct shots and taking them and making them as well. And now shooting about 75% as a team at the foul stripe. What they're doing, man, it works. It just works. And they've got a team that's really good at doing it. And like I said earlier, you look up and you've won the conference title. And everybody knew that going into last night. I'm not sure that anybody on that team thought they were going to be conference champions 2 months ago, middle of January, when they had just lost at Seward to, again, if my math is correct, go 5-6 in Jayhawk conference play. Well, several games later, they're 17-7 and at the top spot. This actually, I saw matches their record from last year's final standings. They did not win the conference last year. I believe they came in either second or third, but they were still a top 4 team this year. They tie for the top spot as far as record goes. I'm not big on sharing titles like that. Yes, Butler and Barton have the same conference record at 17 wins, 7 losses. Barton has the better overall record, and Barton won that matchup twice. In the 2 times those two teams have played, Barton has won both. But the good news is I've got a feeling that those two teams are probably going to meet up again. Now, very balanced conference, very tough conference to play in. Cloud and Garden have both beaten Barton, and that's a team that's at home. At home, Barton lost to those teams. So the Barton's going to have to avenge that home loss to one of those two schools. It's a matter of who comes out of that first round matchup. But I think that Barton and Butler have kind of separated themselves at the top of the conference. And if you told me that was the Region 6 final, it wouldn't shock me at all. But we'll have to get there first. Sports Day is brought to you in part by Equity Bank. There when you need them. Bank local. Save big with in-person banking and business banking. Visit equitybank.com for more information. Equity Bank in Great Bend, Hoisington, and in Larned. Also brought to you by C&E Doors, your full-service garage door company. Follow the orange signs south of 10th and Harrison. We got to take our last break. More for you on the other side. Final segment of Sports Day coming up here on 1590 KVGB and 95.5 FM.
Central and Western Kansas residents, are you looking for a new vehicle? Marmy Auto Group can make it happen. Marmy Auto Group includes Ford, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep and Ram, Chevrolet, and GMC. Marmy Auto Group, your Central and Western Kansas dealer, has new and pre-owned vehicles, or we can special order your vehicle today. If your existing vehicle needs serviced, Marmy's award-winning service department can help. Come to Marmy Auto Group on 10th or marmys.net. Marmys, make it happen.
Selling your farm or ranch acres can be stressful. At Red Cedar Land Company, they are extremely diverse in the number of ways they can represent you, and they tailor each project to meet their seller's needs. One of the biggest questions for a seller is, what is my land worth? At Red Cedar Land Company, they offer a free market analysis to help you better understand the value of your land. You deserve a better selling experience. Put your trust in Red Cedar Land Company. Call Cody Crook with Red Cedar Land Company at 620-617-7320.
Service from people you know, quality products and professional installation. That's Kern Floor Service. Stop by Kern Floor Service and browse through the different selections of flooring from laminate to vinyl, carpet, wood, and ceramic tile. See their selection of area rugs or special order the one that fits your decor, and don't forget, they can spice up those countertops too. So stop by Kern Floor Service today. Kern Floor Service, 908 Coolidge in Great Bend.
Marmy Auto Group makes it happen. Central and Western Kansas. Check out our selection of new and pre-owned inventory. Marmy's friendly staff offers top quality service that you've gotten to know over the years. When your existing vehicle needs parts or service, our experienced team will get you back in the game this season. Marmy Chevrolet, GMC, Ford and Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep Ram, parts, service, and body shop. Visit Marmy Auto Group on 10th Street or marmys.net. Marmys, make it happen.
Needing a healthcare plan for your business? Let the experienced team at Freedom Claims Management Incorporated customize a health insurance plan that fits your needs. Whether you're a large company or a small business on Main Street, FCMI can help you provide employees with great health coverage at an affordable cost. From setup to ongoing support, they handle it all. Schedule your free no-obligation health assessment today at freedomclaimsinc.com. That's Freedom Claims Management Incorporated, with locations in Great Bend, Russell, and Plainville.
Hey Cougar fans, this is Brant Daughtry, voice of the Barton Cougars. Cheering from the stands is great, but you can give our athletes a true competitive advantage by joining the Cougar Booster Club. Boosters provide the best equipment and facility upgrades, helping Barton athletes succeed at the regional and national level. Whether you're a business or an individual, your support matters. Call 620-792-9377 and become a Cougar Booster today. Go Cougars!
C&E Doors, this is Eddie. Oh, Hadley?
Papa, our new band is ready to practice, but the garage door sounds broken.
That door is so squeaky, they will never hear your band. Let's get the guys at C&E Doors to repair that noisy door.
Garage door service and repair at C&E Doors in Great Bend and Hayes.
We're going up, it's our moment.
Welcome back. Final couple minutes of Sports Day here on this Thursday afternoon. Hope everybody is having a I was about to say a couple of different words there. I'll settle on, I hope everyone is having a fantastic Thursday. Tomorrow is Friday, and you know what that means. It's time for our weekly interview with Connor Nickel of Sunflower Sports Solutions. He and I will chop it up for a little while. We'll also be joined, Great Bend fans. I said we were done with high school stuff for a while. That was a lie. Great Bend, we will have Rex Kern along with his son Trenton in the studio tomorrow. Trenton coming off the first state title, his state title in wrestling at 215 pounds. He wins the gold medal up in, I believe, where was that? It was in some city up north, if I remember correctly. But either way, Coach Kern and Trent Kern. Trenton's been in this studio a lot over his career. He's been on this microphone a lot, and so looking forward to seeing him again, and this time talking about him bringing home a state title. So that's coming your way on tomorrow's show. Sports Day is brought to you in part by the Great Bend Rec, providing quality leisure, cultural, sports, fitness, and educational programs to improve the quality of the community and the individual lives of their community members. Also by Freedom Claims Management. Let the experienced and dedicated staff of Freedom Claims Management, Inc. customize a health insurance plan that fits your business's needs. I told you we were going to keep you updated on what's going on with the batted ball sports for Barton right now. In the bottom of the second, up in Goodland, Barton softball is up 4-1 on the Northwest Tech Tigers. That game in the bottom of the second right now, but Barton has scored 2 runs in the first 2 frames. And it looks, well, I don't have, here we go. Do I have play-by-play on me? Here we go. All right, maybe. Morgan Thatcher with a solo home run to get things started. Also, Peyton McCormick with a sacrifice fly to score 2 of Barton's runs. Don't know where the other 2 came from, and I don't have time to analyze this box score. So 4-1 in the bottom of the second over in Goodland for Barton softball. They lead. Barton baseball over on the hill there at home today. They are tied 1-1 in the bottom of the second inning with Seward. Still a lot of ball to go for both of those schools, for both of those teams, I should say. But that's going to do it for today's episode of Sports Day. Big thanks to Carson DeBose of Barton softball. Big thanks to Jeremy Combs of Barton basketball for joining me on the program today. Thanks to Landon Winkler for running the video feed and the cameras. Thanks to you for watching and listening. We'll wrap up the week tomorrow at 12:30 right here on 1590 KVGB 95.5 FM. This has been Sports Day.